Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to That Infernal Noise podcast, part of the Mental Health News Radio Network. Fuck yeah.
The fact that anybody takes the time to say anything today is plenty for me. The boy felt bad. He texted me earlier, and he was just like, I wish I was there celebrating with you, but duty calls or some shit like that. And I was just like, brother, like, you ain't got to worry about that.
We get
I was
it.
like, get the fucking bread. And like, we will hang out whenever we have time, and I know that it does not bother me.
Yeah, no.
So
we have full ass lives. I mean,
he's got a full ass like,
yeah.
He's got his own thing. Shit, he's got his own shit going on. Like, I'm not gonna hold it.
Oh yeah, he was part of the we in that because, like, he's turns
21 in 4 days. Yeah. Where the fuck does time go? Of course, it's all a construct, but I'm not getting into all that.
We're gonna have a 21-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, we already got a 20-year-old, so it's not that different, but
he's like the adultiest adult now. Like, he gets to do everything now.
The only thing he doesn't get is the benefit of the price cut in insurance.
No, not until you're 25. Wow.
Yeah.
I just remember him obviously, it's my view of him is different than yours, and because I wasn't there with him and Kaylee since day one, so like.
Yeah, but you saw plenty of pictures. 2, it was pretty goddamn close.
It was what, he was 6?
5 or 6. Born in 2004. When did we start hanging out?
I think I met everyone briefly in 2008.
And then 2009, so he was 5. Yeah. Which means Kaylee was 3.
Yeah. Fuck. And then when we got together, he was, what, 6? 6. Almost
the
7.
First time, or
in 2011.
What? 4, 7. 4 plus 6 is 10.
You're right. He was 7.
Whenever we got together officially,
Yes.
like for good, he was 7.
7.
Kaylee was 5.
Yes.
Noe was a year old.
No. But yeah, like, that's wild to think about, that we have adult children.
2. And one's about to be adulty adult.
Adulty adult. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm speechless. It's wild. But happy birthday, by the way. Happiest birthday. The past 2 years have been dog shit for
Yeah.
for birthdays.
I hate last year was the worst.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have given a fuck less about my birthday last year. And it's not like I care about my birthday now, you know that. Like,
Yeah.
I've never really given a shit about my birthday, but
I do.
But yeah, I've just never really given a shit about my birthday. And I mean, you and the kids always try to make me feel special and stuff, and I appreciate that. Like, I really do, but I don't know. I guess I've always just been, it's another day. You know what I mean? Because, like, birthdays fuck with me anyway, because it's getting a year older, and then it gets in my head, and it turns into a whole thing. This year, it hasn't, luckily. I mean, day's still not over, but, like, I don't see that happening this year, luckily.
Yeah, because I'm the opposite.
You like your birthday.
I like
as
my
you
birthday.
should. That should be your day.
Because I ask. I'm low maintenance.
You are.
I don't ask for a lot. I don't ask for anything, hardly ever. I try not to make things about myself. I try to.
I mean, last year was the first year that I haven't like tried to do it, but that was
It was the past 2 years.
Well, yeah.
But I understand we had back-to-back unfortunate deaths.
and it was just
And
like,
it was just a lot.
and it wasn't even a fuck you thing.
Yeah,
it was
it's-
just I'm not. My brain was not there
Yeah.
for the shit,
And that's okay.
and I feel bad about that. But
And you shouldn't.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it made me feel some type of way because you did get in your feelings about it, especially last year.
The hardest part was our anniversary. If I'm being honest,
Fair.
our 10-year anniversary, that big milestone. But again, I completely understand. I completely understand.
But luckily, we're back now, where it feels like it, or
Yeah.
whatever. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not that we've forgotten or don't remember. Who
Yeah,
has
because I
left us.
like
It's
I
just-
remember every fucking
Yeah.
thing, and like I know when shit comes up. I'm not that husband.
Oh no, I was talking about not that we're forgetting who we've lost. We're just we're back. On a mentally, we're a little bit better than we were.
A lot better than we were.
A lot better. And yes, it was not that you forgot birthdays or anniversaries. It was just mentally and emotionally, the past 2 years have been dog shit. Mierda. And it has just been bad. So I completely understand, and I don't want you to ever think that I hold anything against you for
I appreciate that.
because I don't. But how are you feeling now that you are 41?
I don't feel different anymore. Like last year was a mind fuck because of everything leading up to it, and then that was 40, and then that was a whole nother thing for me. And I mean, since I was 15, it's always been I'll never see da 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 da. You know,
X
like
age,
at
like-
like 15, I didn't think I was going to live to see 18. At 18, I didn't think I was going to live to see 20, 25, 30, da 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 da,
Yeah.
on down the line. And now it's just like my brain's the opposite. Like I want to see 45. I want to see 50, 60, 70. Like I want to see all of that now, and I'm worried that I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's a big fear and
And
big
not even
obstacle.
for self-destructive reasons or anything like that. It's just we never know what's going to happen type
Yeah.
thing, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to it because I know the things that have to happen in between the time.
Yeah.
You know, like Chris getting married, Kaylee if she decides to get married, if they all decide to have kids, they're all like the younger two are going to become adults, like graduate, all that shit.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's when you're struggling with fear, it's hard to get excited about those kinds of things. And I know
Now, I'm
you
still
are
not excited about it, but I never got excited about it to
In the
begin
first
with
place, yeah.
because it created more anxiety for me.
Oh yeah.
Not that I wasn't proud of Chris and Kaylee and all that stuff, and the 2 days, the day that they both of them graduated, I've never been more proud of them.
Oh yeah.
Just because like they accomplished it and they did it on their own. It's like, yes, we pushed them, yes, we tried to keep them on the straight and narrow, but ultimately it was their fucking decision
Just
to
like
get it
everything
done.
else, they have to do the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they did the work. Both of them. Both busted their asses to graduate on time, and then they had their special shit for it and all that stuff, and I could not be prouder of them.
Yep.
But it took my kids away from me. You know? And my kids mean a lot to me. They always have. And I took it for granted a lot. And it was once Chris graduated and left that it was under a microscope from that point on.
Yeah. Everything has changed since Chris moved out.
And like I can't take it back and I can't do it again, but I could just try going forward. And without him, I wouldn't have realized that.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel bad that I took it for granted, but I'm also not trying to take it for granted anymore. Like anytime I have time to talk to them or hang out with them or whatever, I don't give a fuck. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll drop everything for my fucking kids. And I would have before, but it was a different dynamic.
Agreed.
You know, because they were petrified of me. Everybody was. And without seeing him bolt as soon as he graduated, essentially, and having the subsequent conversations after that, I don't know that I would have changed. And then the conversations with Kaylee and her actually standing up for herself to me, which I never thought would fucking happen.
Yeah, because I tried, but...
And it was the kids that fucking did it, you know? And I'm grateful for them for calling out my bullshit. I know it probably terrified them. I know it terrified them because I've had conversations with them, and
they're brave as fuck.
And I give them full credit for it.
Yeah,
and
I'm proud of them.
Without them, without you, without the littles, I would not be the person I am today at 41. And I say that with all reverence and appreciation, because
don't.
I wasn't happy. Like I was to a certain extent, but I wasn't happy.
I know.
I was fucking miserable.
Oh, I know.
And I just kept repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. And if it wasn't for the three of you specifically, you, Chris, and Kaylee, standing up to me and telling me exactly what the fuck was going on, I would have never fixed it. Because yes, I've always been on this journey to try to better myself and to fix myself and all that stuff. But I thought that it was only certain things. I didn't look at how I was parenting, how I was treating my spouse, and how that could be taken, because this is what I've seen my entire life. Like I wasn't doing all the shit that I had to go through, so obviously it's not that bad. And that wasn't the case. And I don't know. It just, that coupled with losing grandma and mom, I broke. I completely broke, and in the most beautiful way possible, because yes, it sucked going through it, and I still have those fucking moments, but I actually feel like a better person now, because I see things differently, and I know that I don't want to make the same mistakes and decisions that I was making before. And it took me 40 fucking years to get there. And it's been an ongoing journey. So I'm hoping the next 40 are a lot more peaceful than the last 40 were.
I think they will be, because not only do you specifically have your first 40 years to learn from and reflect on and build on. On top of all of that, you've done the work. You're continuing to do the work. You know your worth. You know how to set boundaries. You know how to convey them respectfully. You know how to
I try. It doesn't hold up every fucking time, but
you know how to hold those boundaries. Look, I can love you from afar. I hugs, kisses, love, but you got to stay over there. To certain people,
and the fact that I don't have any hate in my heart anymore, I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, you were just full of...
I was full of piss and vinegar.
Piss and vinegar.
Well, like Gabriel used to say, smoke and fucking hate. Like that's how I lived, and I was content with it. Because I thought it protected me.
It's easier.
And it did to a certain extent, but
how much did it harm?
It hardened me too.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it anymore. Yeah. I don't have it in me anymore. Like my will to be like that is completely broken now. I want to be at peace. I don't want to be struggling the rest of my life with my mentality and my emotions and all of that stuff, like, or my self-worth, or people and their opinions of me. Like, I was always the first one to say, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, and I was lying the entire time.
We all were.
Because I do give a fuck what people think about me. I just can't do anything about it. People are going to have their opinions of me regardless. And I just have to accept that. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to have a good opinion of me, but if they don't, okay, sorry.
I can't be everyone's cup of tea.
And I don't want to be anymore. Yeah. Like, I tried to be everything for everybody. And I don't mean that like I was so fucking altruistic and taking care of everybody. I mean, I was like a chameleon, and I tried to be the missing piece for every single person in my life.
Same.
And it didn't do any good. You know what I mean? Like, It just didn't. And I always joked that that you had the white knight syndrome with me, which was stupid because obviously I was not. But I stopped caring about that too. Like, I'm not here to save you.
Yeah. I'm
here to hold your hand as we go through all this shit, but I can't save you.
Yeah.
I can't protect you from everything. I can't fight your battles for you.
I have to do that.
To a certain extent, yeah, I can help you stand up for yourself and all that shit, and I have, but
you can support.
I can only do so much. Yeah. Like, I can't force you to change your mind about anything. I can't force you to change your outlook on things and any shit like that. And if I can't do it with you, I sure as fuck can't do it with anybody else. And that's the realization I've had to come to. Like, some people are just going to be who they are. And that's what I need to do. I need to be who I am.
Yep.
And 41 years later, I'm finally okay with that. And, like, it's scary because it is lonely as fuck sometimes. But ultimately, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I
just want to be happy. I just want everything to be peaceful and calm and not chaotic and not contentious and just like I'm just over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like, I barely listen to the music I used to listen to because it's just too aggressive sometimes.
I was thinking of that. There was something popped into my head, and I don't remember what. But old songs, I was thinking about, like, the music you specifically used to do and listen to, and then I realized not too long ago, I was like, God damn, he hasn't listened to certain artists
that I loved. I don't listen to anymore. Like, it's just because one, it reminds me of a very fucked up time in my life because of the people I was surrounding myself with.
Who you were.
And who I was as a person.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of my worst fucking alcoholism that nobody saw a fucking problem with except me, and I'm the fucking asshole, but whatever. And it just doesn't have the same vibe for me anymore. Yeah. You know? And like, I'd rather listen to fucking country now. And I fucking hated country for the longest time.
Okay, let's be real. The country you listen to is not...
Some of it is. Some of it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll listen to Reba McEntire right fuck now. You know, I grew up on Travis Tritt and fucking George Strait.
Same.
Brooks and Dunn. Like,
Brooks and Dunn was my first concert.
Like, and I don't know why I hated that. I guess because of the whole, like, Juggalo thing, and it was fuck your rebel flag shit, which I still agree with ideologically.
100%.
But
it's just, country music does not make you a bad thing. I'm not going to list the names because there's a whole bunch of shit going on in the world right now. But that kind of thing, country music doesn't make you that. But when we were growing up, it was because of groups like ICP and like the outlook of rednecks.
Shit kickers. Like
SLC Punk.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Things like that. It was automatically, you listen to this kind of thing, you equally or are automatically you equal that too, and that's not
Yeah, and
how it
because
works.
I've always been the alternative dressing guy. I was the long black hair, the fucking goatee, like piercings, all that shit, baggy clothes.
Yeah.
So if I was to listen to country at that point, I wouldn't be welcome there.
Nope.
And then if I was listening to country dressed like that, people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yep.
It's just like it was a
No
whole.
one's gonna be happy.
But nobody was happy anyway, because I was too dark skinned to be a fucking metalhead, and I was told that several times. I was
So
called
weird.
a hard F because I had my fingernails painted. And it's just
That's so
and you
stupid.
find me, I'm in my 40s, and I still like painting my fingernails black sometimes. I haven't done it in a minute, but
Yeah, it's
I really haven't had time to.
well, that and emotionally you haven't really wanted to do things like that. In the past couple of years, you just haven't wanted to do things like that, and that's okay.
No, but I'm not adverse to it.
Yeah. And
I stopped caring about the outward perception of everything.
yeah,
And that's the biggest takeaway that I've gotten over the past 2 years is I can't care about any of it. If I like something, I like it.
yeah,
And I don't care about other people's opinions of it. I can't care about other people's opinions of it because nobody gives a shit about mine.
yeah.
So-
because you can care about other people's opinions all day till the fucking cows come home. It's not going to make your life better. It's not going to change anything. The more you care,
Yeah.
you have to start caring about you and what you are doing on the day to day and what you're going on, what you have going on in your own life, and doing it anyway. Yeah, because I mean I struggle with all of the same things you've talked, and I know that I struggle with that fucking feeling of injustice and needing to fucking put my foot through someone's door and let me tell you why I'm right.
Let me tell you something about you that
That
you don't know.
But like I have that strong, because of how I was raised, I have that strong sense of injustice now where it's like if I see injustice, I want to say something no matter what is said, no matter what it affects, no matter who it affects. And I'm still actively struggling with that because there are still things that you and I know that I wish other people could know because I'm not being an asshole for no reason. But at the end of the day, I can't worry about who knows what and why. And because even though I know I'm right in a situation, someone else may look at it and be like, still. There are people who would still look at me and be like, you should still talk to your mom. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
There's a ton of people that have that mindset, and I don't agree with that.
So I agree that last year was very eye-opening for both of us. It was very revealing for a lot of things. And I think this year and going forward, it will be a lot easier and a lot more peaceful and a lot more enjoyable because you and I have done the work and are continuing to work on ourselves and how we look and how we how we look at life, our outlook. And we will continue to do those things. And when we feel that shit isn't right, we will say it. And if it doesn't
Actually,
get
I don't know
fixed-
that I'm going to anymore. Like, I know
It
I
depends
will.
on who it is.
I know I will with you, and there's a handful of others. The
Yeah.
kids, obviously, like
The kids are not in this sphere because it's not their responsibility to maintain their relationship with us.
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just mean like if we feel like they're fucking up or something.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely say,
But-
hey, we'll do it in a different
But
way.
we have really good fucking kids, and we haven't honestly had to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because
And-
they do have their heads on straight, and they're driven and motivated to be their best versions without any like prodding from us.
That, and they do seem to at least like to get our opinion on things.
They talk about things with us, luckily. And I am eternally grateful for that because a couple of years ago I didn't see that happening.
That's fair.
And
now I hope the message you got earlier really makes you realize that just because they are out of the house doesn't mean that they don't want to be home, and means that they don't want to spend time with you because that's all they want today. But we have one that's sick, and unfortunately that kind of derailed our plans, which is totally
fine. Like, yeah, like I am literally not tripping on it.
But
it would have been nice, yeah, because of course I love any time I can get with my kids, yes. But I get it.
But going back to what you were saying, I do think, yeah, depending on who it is, you may not get a, what the fuck was that?
Because I've done that my entire life, and it's done no good. Because
then they'll be like, oh, it'll go one of two ways. Historically, from what we've seen, it'll either get told that we're fucking wrong in feeling whatever we're feeling, and fuck you, I'm not changing. This is me, deal with it. Or two, they lie to our face and say, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then they don't. So,
and
we have to be selective of who we give those opportunities to. And I can count on one hand.
That is a very short list.
Yeah, I can count on one hand, because I'm excluding the kids out of this. I can count on one hand the amount of people I would be like, what's going on here? Okay, that made me feel some kind of way. Like, there are very few people that I think I'm on the same boat as you. Like,
and it's not like
motherfucker,
I don't want to help or I don't want to give feedback.
We're adults. You should know how to conduct yourself at this point.
And that's my thing. Is like and that could go back to the idealizing shit or whatever. But like, we should all know how to act at this point.
I don't think it's like over romanticizing or over expecting. I think that is right on par. We are reaching our 40s or are in our 40s. We should be able.
I don't act like it, but
the thing is that everyone should be able to.
You should be able to have adult conversations with people and be like, "Yo, this shit ain't fucking popping."
Or if there's just shit that is being done. I'm not your mom. I'm not your parent. I'm not your guardian. I should not have to tell you how to do this. I should not have to tell you, hey, don't do those things.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like, it's different strokes for different folks. Some people can make shit work that way.
It ain't for me.
It's not. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't have to fucking put up with it.
Exactly. And
any more than anybody's got to put up with my shit and my self-righteousness and however the fuck else people look at it. Yeah. And are they wrong? I think they are, but from their perspective, I'm wrong. So, right. And I just have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, it does not, let me rephrase that. It does bother me, but it can't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
It's just, it is what the fuck it is.
Yes.
God love you. I hope everybody gets everything they want out of life, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean we have to be a part of each other's.
We surely do not.
And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And at 41, I don't have the wherewithal to continue this charade that we've all been accustomed to and conditioned to believe that we have to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't stand on that shit anymore.
Just because I've known you forever, like, if
that means nothing. Yeah. It means nothing to me anymore.
Because if boundaries are crossed, if lines are crossed, if
I'm dismissed constantly,
if there's no trust, whatever, if I don't trust you,
and maybe you shouldn't trust me too. Like, I'm fine with that. And literally, I've been a shitty friend. I've been a shitty brother. I've been a shitty husband. I've been a shitty dad. All of it. I know that. I was a shitty son. I know that. To more than just my mom. I was a shitty son to grandma. I was a shitty son to grandpa at times. I know all of this. So if anybody has that opinion of me, I understand why.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking the other way whenever it comes to how I feel about shit.
No.
Either. Just because you want to do that doesn't mean I'm going to do that.
Right.
So you're allowed to be who you want to be But I'm not, and I don't fuck with that anymore.
Yeah, just because you will allow all kinds of craziness in your
They're
life.
like, well, that's what you're supposed to do. It's a
Nope.
family. Like,
Nope.
no, that's not what a family is.
Nope.
A family is somebody that takes care of and supports each other and tries to build each other up.
Mm-hmm.
And make us the best version of ourselves that we can be.
Yep.
That's what a family should be to me.
And that also means working on yourself, taking accountability, and working on your own bullshit so it doesn't bleed onto other people. Because I know in many ways I have bled on so many people, more so you than anyone else, because of wounds that I didn't fix, wounds that I didn't take care of. Mm-hmm. I was just like, so,
and vice versa. Like, yeah. I've taken it on you more than fucking anybody else, and I'm sure people would argue that point, but I know it's true. Yeah. I know you paid for a lot of fucking people's sins that you aren't responsible for. And that was from the very beginning of our relationship on. Yeah,
and you, while helping me with my mother, paid for a lot of my mother.
And I don't hold that against you, and I'd like to think you don't hold that against me anymore.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't.
Because, like, that's just not it anymore.
Yeah, if you were doing that shit now, I'd be like, look here, boy. And I would have to call you boy in that moment.
That if I step out of line, that you're comfortable enough to be like, you need to fucking
and I think
chill.
I still struggle. Okay. I still struggle with that because I grew up in a household where I was not allowed to do that. And that still gives me, like, there's a deep-seated, deep-rooted CPTSD physical
there's
ailment.
There's a very visceral reaction from you.
And those are my flashbacks. I'm going to get real personal with y'all real quick. I don't do conflict. I get the BGs. I want to shit myself. It happens. But those are CPTSD like flashbacks. And that's science. That's
the more you've studied, you realize what it is.
Yes. So even with those things, I would like to think that I have turned a corner in the communication era where I feel like I can be like, hey, look, I don't know where that came from, but I don't think that was meant for me. I don't know where that energy needs to be directed to, but it ain't me. And I just think that here on out is very much going to be, okay, we look at the situation of whatever. Hopefully we won't have to deal with a lot of shit.
I'm not holding my breath. I'm accepting whatever the fuck. Like, honestly, because shit could pop off tomorrow and it's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's fucking handle this shit.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not looking forward to it, but if it happens, it fucking happens.
We can't let
just because I want to be a pacifist now doesn't mean I'm just going to allow all types of fuckery happen.
I'm just saying.
Like, realistically, and I don't want to be malicious or vindictive or any shit like that, but I'm not unarmed in this combat.
No, I will not be anymore.
And I've dulled my blade for a very fucking long time, and I know how to take care of this shit. And I'm not saying, like, physically violent bullshit. I'm not talking about any of that. It's just, I'm not a fucking doormat anymore. Right. And if people come at me, I'm prepared for that.
Right.
Mentally, emotionally, whatever. It's like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and trying to fix everything. It's like, I've done that, and here the fuck we are anyway.
Right.
So, the alternative is, all right, you want to burn it down, I bring the fucking gasoline. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And it's weird that I could say that so calmly and not, you know what I mean?
It's very much like the shirt I just got recently, like last month or something. Will burn sage and bridges as needed.
That's true, though. Like, And I do that. I burn my incense every day. I do the Palo Santo on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who I am.
Yeah.
But Buddha be damned. Whenever it comes down to it, like,
yeah,
nobody's going to take advantage of me anymore. Nobody's going to make me feel some type of way about some shit. Like,
sticking up for myself and saying makes me want to vomit, but I do it anyway. And I've been trying to do it anyway. And that's very hard because I associate me saying what I need to people leaving.
Well, that's happened quite often.
Yes. So, it's terrifying.
I understand why it's there, but you can't worry about that.
Yeah, because and I know that this is not the case, but even if I were to say something and you were like, you know what, I'm not here for it and I'm going to deuce out, I have to be okay with that. Just like vice versa, if you were to say something and I was like, no, you would have to be okay with that. Again, that is not our goal at all. But if we can be that frank and upfront and honest with each other, why the fuck aren't we going to do that with every single other person in our life?
Just because you can't handle it doesn't mean I need to quell myself.
Nope.
Like, maybe you should grow thicker skin. And I've been told that my entire life, but the way that I see it, my hide's the thickest. Because I'll take all of it.
Mm-hmm. And you have. Your name has been dragged through mud. And I'm not saying it's mud that wasn't...
Some of it was deserved, but some of it wasn't either.
But the fact that you and I have... You more so... have been like, no, I'll tell you all my shit.
And everybody's like, well, you never tell the whole story. The fuck I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I paint myself as the villain all the fucking time because I am fully aware of the stupid shit that I've done in my life.
See, but
and the people that I've hurt.
Yeah.
I am aware of it.
You tell the whole story, though, and that's what people don't like.
And actually, I actually leave a lot of the other shit out. That's the fucking thing that irks me because I'm treated like a certain way, and it's just, I'm not telling the whole story, but I'm keeping the other side from it.
We're
not
protecting
mine.
You, motherfucker.
And I'm still regarded in the way that I am, and it's just, it's so fucking dumb to me.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, fine, I'll be the bad guy. And it used to bother me that everybody looked at me like the fucking bad guy. Now I don't. Okay, yeah, I'm the bad guy. I'm the only horrible person in this equation.
And that's
and
okay.
Everybody could take from that what they want.
Yeah.
Because it's not my problem.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm uppity. Okay, yeah, I'm self-righteous. I switched up. I'm not this, that, and the other. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
If that's what you call this, sure.
And they're right. I am all of that. But I'm also not that.
No.
I'm that because you made me that. I'm that because I have to be that with you.
But you are who you are authentically supposed to be.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I know.
And it just seems like very few people like that.
Then we are content with ourselves, and if we find new people, then we find new people. If we don't, we don't. I'm okay with not finding new people.
I'm content with just crawling up in bed with you every night and enjoying my life.
Yes.
And not having
Agreed.
the other shit deter us.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it anymore. I don't want all the negativity and the drama and the let's keep perpetuating cycles from our 20s type shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so far past that now. It's like I look, and the reason that I'm so cognitively aware of it now is because we have kids that fucking age.
Yes.
and our kids aren't doing the toxic bullshit that we were doing at their age.
Oh no.
Like at all.
We know
and
people
it's just,
that are still doing shit
they're
like that.
Aware enough and have processed their own shit enough at their age to know that that's not the way to go.
It's not.
And then there's others that are our age and much older that
Doing the same
and
fucking
expecting things to change, and like, well, I don't understand why this is the way. Like,
I would love to show you.
I have tried to show you, but let's keep it fucking.
For people who are turning into history buffs right now, I would like to show you why fucking
That's
things.
a whole nother fucking thing.
Yes. But it's repeating. You're repeating yourself. Look at the timeline. Look at your life. And while
there's a common denominator.
Yes, there is a common denominator. And the thing is that a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this because I have been the doormat. I have literally done and catered to everyone else. And I have been the timid one. You and I have talked about this several times. I was the one who cowered. You were the one that barked
There's
back.
the two dogs that got beat.
Yes.
You're the one that would cower from it. I'm the one that I'll fucking bite your hand off. I don't give a shit.
And I have spent my whole life just trying to, yes, and fine, and we're good, and oh no, we're good. And just go with the flow, and everything, Nisha will take care of it, Nisha will take care of it, and Nisha will do it with a smile, and da-da-da-da-da, and everything's going to be okay. Everything's fine. That is not good either.
No, it's the other end of it.
It's not. So, even on my side, I have done things and people who are like me don't want to, one, admit that being a doormat is toxic. Two, because it makes you feel like you're being a good person. It makes you feel like
you
I've
are being a good person because you are trying to take care of everybody. That doesn't mean it's good for you.
Yeah,
that's not the same thing.
As fuck. And still,
it's
not
toxic to you. It's not toxic outwardly.
Fair.
Because you're denying yourself all of this shit to take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
And nobody's got a problem with that, but if you start taking shit away from them, then it's a fucking problem. But if you take shit away from you, well, that's fine because I'm getting what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
I just don't look at it that way anymore.
I also had to acknowledge and accept the fact that I was playing a part in it. Which also people don't want to do. And
ultimately, you're responsible for your own suffering in any situation.
Agreed. Because once you realize
and I know that's like a fucked up way to look at it, but you are playing a role in your own suffering.
You are.
Because you're allowing these cycles to perpetuate. You're allowing the addiction to take hold. You're allowing yourself to think that you need to cheat or whatever the fucking situation is, or lie or manipulate or
get people to stay.
Whatever it is.
I felt I had to try to get everyone to stay, which is still not good. But as you go through all of this, on whatever side of the coin that you were raised or who you thought you were or whatever, it's very much of people are either going to do it or they're not. And I'm not doing all of the things that I need to be doing, but I'm working on it.
We're getting there.
And if someone were to come to me,
we're slowly adding and taking away the things that we need to in order to get to that better spot.
And that's why I think the next 40 are, because we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep evaluating, looking at, analyzing. Hey, what's my part in this? Does this make me feel good? What can I do differently? How can I help this situation? What can I do to help the universe? And does that mean I have to not do things? We will continue to do those hard things and removing ourselves from situations that we are no longer mixing with. And if more people could do that without hate in their heart and like trying to throw blame, things would Because
Well,
it's still
I mean,
gonna,
that's the easiest thing to do. Whenever something goes wrong, start blaming everybody else for why it went wrong.
yeah.
Now I have a different mindset on it. Whenever things go wrong, what the fuck did I do? Like, how could I have avoided this?
Because it's a learning experience.
I mean, and that all got put into perspective because of mom. Like, what could I have done different? And then ultimately, it's like, well,
Nothing.
even if I had, what difference would it have made?
Right.
Like, everything happened. I have to believe everything happened the way it did for a reason.
Yeah.
So I choose to take that part of it and make it mean something.
Right.
And not repeat the same mistakes that I made with my mom. Or that she made with me. Or, like, both sides of it. Like,
Right.
I don't want to perpetuate that to my kids. So, I mean, and everybody, like, I've heard people, like, well, of course, everything's fucking such a big deal to you. Like, yeah, why
It is.
shouldn't it be?
It's
Why
my
shouldn't
life.
everything be life-changing? Why shouldn't every fucked up situation you encounter, why can't it be the catalyst for positivity?
There are canon events all the time.
And it's just, I've always been made fun of for shit like that. And I just, it's fucked up, but I realize that those people are myopic. And like, yeah, I can watch a movie and get something deep and meaningful out of it. You can't? I think you're fucked up because of that. Because that means you lack empathy.
What's the quote about love and reading War and Peace, and then the mysteries, the perception of what you read or I'll have to read because there's a full quote about, someone could read War and Peace and not get anything from it, but unlock the mysteries of the universe on a bubblegum wrapper.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking
On
about?
the back of a shampoo bottle,
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And but that's very much what it is.
And you've seen me do that. Like, I could read anything, and if it resonates with me, it's just like I get this deeply profound thing from it. And I don't understand people that don't. You know what I mean? But somehow I'm the weird one. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
fair.
I don't know. I feel like it should be more this way, and maybe that's because it's my perception versus other people's. I don't know. But I don't see the problem of it. I think more people should be like me, and I know how that fucking sounds, but
But at least curious.
like, what's
Open-minded.
wrong with that? What's wrong with having a level of empathy towards things like that and feeling for people and after hearing their story and stuff like that?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't either, but I've been told that it's incorrect for a very long time. So
I don't know. I just know that we're living in a fucking scary, scary time in 2025. I don't know what the future holds for us. And me being honest about how I'm feeling, me being a safe space for someone else to come to me and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, is how I'm going to give back to my community, among other things. But that is the biggest thing. In a world in this day and age where so much division is trying to make its way into our lives, there are going to be people who choose to stay exactly as they are.
because they don't see a problem with it.
And they don't. And that's fine.
And they don't want to see a problem with it.
And that's fine. That's fine for them. It doesn't have to be
But
fine for everyone
you
else.
don't have a place in my life if that's how you look at
Exactly.
it. Like, if you're one of these closeted neo-Nazi fucks, I give a Frenchman's fuck about your opinion because I automatically know you're a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Like, your brain does not function on the level that a human adult's should function if you think that that is an acceptable way to look at things.
Because there's zero empathy and zero humanity in that.
And there's superiority, and it's just, you don't know science. Like, You
So
don't
many
know
things,
anything.
yes.
You literally don't know fucking anything. You haven't lived life. You haven't gone anywhere outside of the country. You haven't done any of these things. And I haven't either, but I'm not stupid enough to think that we're the master race and that America's the greatest. Because, yes, there's a lot of things that are great about America, but
Right
it's
now,
not. We're the laughing stock of the fucking world right now.
I don't think we're the laughing stock. I think our...
Well, I think it's worse than that. I think everybody is terrified for us.
Yes.
And
I think
that
our government
is upsetting.
is being looked at as a laughing stock. I don't think the American people as a whole are being looked at as a laughing stock. I think people are...
because we voted for this shit.
I think that... Okay, let me define that sentence even further. I think the rest of the world is looking on to the people who obviously didn't vote a certain way. Because the people who fucked around in that fashion are making the rest of us find out. And we don't deserve to find out because we didn't fuck around in that fashion. Just saying. But I think that's how we make it. Not only out of the next 4 years. And I'm trying not to take it there. But it's a very scary time. But outside of the next 4 years. Like, this is how humanity survives. Anything. Is... we join together and we realize that there is something bigger than us. I don't believe in organized religion. I never have and I never will. Because organized religion has told so many people to go against... It's
perverted what religion is supposed to be.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Spirituality, on whatever level, whether it be secular or if you have a certain practice or whatever... the fact that all of us should be able to look at someone else and be like, hey, that person's hurting, that person's in pain. What can we all collectively do to help? And on a one-on-one level, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to allow people to, I'm scared. I'm terrified today. I'm angry today. Can we talk? Whatever people need in that fashion, because that's what I've always done. I try, and I know that I'm not good about it every single day, but I try to how are you doing today? How are you emotionally? And I don't necessarily spell it out. How are you emotionally today? How are you physically today? But I try to, you need anything I can get you, anything I can do for you, anything, and that's just who I am. And more people need to be like that. Because if we check on other people and other people check in on us, it's a communal thing. It creates the village in the it takes a village. Just because they're outside of America or outside of your race or religion, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because I know that I'm almost 39 years old. I am a female of mixed ethnicities in America. But I know for a fact, if I saw a man out in the wild hit a woman, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or if I saw someone trying to abuse a child, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would say if someone's kicking a dog, what is wrong with you? Because if we don't protect each other, then the people who are doing the attacking will eventually come for your group.
But that's not how everybody looks at it. They're focused on this one. This is the one. This is the problem. Okay.
And then they'll go to the next one.
What's the next problem? And then what's the next one? And the next one? And the next one?
And you don't speak up because it doesn't affect you.
And the whole thing is just fucked up. And all of the self-advocating that I've learned how to do has put all of that into perspective as well. And I'd like to think that we've become a safe space for people that might have something to worry about right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there's people that we care about deeply that could be very much affected by
a lot of
some of
things
this
going
shit
on right now.
And that breaks my heart for them. after all of the struggle to get where they were, to be accepted, to finally feel like they belonged and they didn't have to hide and all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's going back to that.
Which there are people... Okay, I just want to say this. I know I've probably said this before, but I'm going to say it again. All the people that are being made out to be abominations, I just want to say this real quick. People like you, people of twin spirits, twin flames, there have been different people. I hate to put it in quotes because we know so many people. There have been people part of the communities for forever. I just, we've gone through a lot, you and I, individually, as a couple, you know, as people, human beings. And we will continue to go through shit because that's life. Because all of this is a test. It's all a test.
America's failing right now.
Oof, hardcore. My God. But it's all a test. All of this is a test. All of this is a test. All of this is... the same tests will keep coming up until you learn your lesson. And the lesson is... be there for one another. Love each other. Accept each other. Don't try to force each other.
What another person has going on is none of your fucking problem.
Right. But...
who they love, how they identify, means nothing.
Because honestly, I don't like putting labels on a lot of things. But me, I don't identify... Like, if you were to ask me to put labels on myself now, they are completely different labels. Completely different labels than 10 years ago.
Because you've figured yourself out and you understand yourself better.
That, and I don't want labels. Because that cuts me off from the universe. That cuts me off. That limits me. That puts me in a box that I don't have to have. You know, for the vast majority of my life, I thought I was something I wasn't. Because I was lied to. For so many years, I thought I was something I was not. You know, it's just... I would never put a label on myself. I don't even care if people call me she or ma'am or her. I don't care. Because if someone were to ask me, do you identify as a woman? I don't.
But you don't want to identify as
I don't want to identify as a woman. I don't want to identify as a man either. Yes, I look like a female, but I don't care if I do. I don't. I don't care if... I just don't. I'm a person trying to make it through this life. And that's all that should matter. And that's all it should matter for anyone.
It should.
And again, goes back to why I think the next back half of our life... Oh, excuse me. That was weird. It was a weird, like, hiccup burp thing I had going. That's another reason why I think the back half of our life is going to be so much better. We have so much to learn from, and we know that we know what to do going forward. Like, we
should. You and I do.
Yes, and that's what I was specifically talking about you and I in this moment. It's the world is going to do its own thing. Powers that be are going to come and go. People in our lives are going to come and go. But I really, really think that because of the commitment that we've made to each other and the commitment we've made, hell, to ourselves of continuing to do this work and continuing to just be a safe haven for everyone and everything. I think that's how we have a great back half. because we're going to just keep doing what we do. We're going to keep being the people that we are. We're going to keep giving. We're going to keep helping. We're going to keep doing what we can, where we can, and not giving a fuck who has to say anything negatively about it, because we're doing what makes us feel right and good. And that's all we can ask for. But I know that we're going to have a beautiful life. It's not always going to be easy, and it never has been. But I've got to spend 13 years with you. And I can't wait to spend the next however many years I get with you left. We've already made plans of things for when we're old. And I fucking hope and pray that we get to actually do those. And I know that I probably should be wrapping up soon, but I just want to say that I love you. I know that so much has changed in the past couple years. I know that things will continue to change. Thank you for giving me space to find myself. Thank you for giving me time and energy that no one else has. I would like to think that we've both come to a spot where we give each other enough room to grow and then come back together. I love you so much, and I wish I could give you so much more. I wish I could take pain away.
You have, and that's what you don't realize.
I just love you so stinking much, even though you irritate me sometimes, and I irritate you sometimes.
A lot of times.
I hope you've had a good day. I hope you enjoy all of your cookies.
My cookies.
I said your cookies, sir. Calm down.
I'm not sharing them.
And just know that
I'm not sharing my buntinis either.
you don't have to.
I'm joking. Those I have to share because I don't want to eat them anyway.
Out
of principle.
But you're not who you were. Just in case no one else fucking tells you. You're not who you were.
I appreciate that.
You've done so much work. You are a good man. You are a good husband. You are a good friend, brother, dad, person, human being. You are a beautiful soul. And thank you for the work that you've done so I can have the husband that I deserve and that I wanted, that you wanted to give me. So thank you. I love you. Happy birthday. And to everyone else out there, you're not alone. Shit's gonna get scary, or could be getting scary. Whatever. You're not alone. If you need anybody, reach out. If you need resources, reach out. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things, because this is how we're gonna help. Just letting people know that they're not alone. Questions, comments, suggestions, all that shit. You know where to find us. We're all on the same places everywhere on social media. That Infernal NPC, all that stuff. Go do it. Go listen. Go share. Have a great day. Take care of yourself, please. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you like this episode or know someone who would, please help us grow the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Keep up with all episodes on Buzzsprout or anywhere else you get your podcasts.